Hamilton's new contract revealed. Lewis Hamilton has yet to sign a contract with Mercedes, and although everything points to this scenario happening sooner rather than later, there are some serious doubts about the numbers that Hamilton reportedly asked Mercedes for. He knows his worth, but the question is whether the team would want to invest that much in him now that the chances of a championship until 2026 have dropped severely with the dominance of Red Bull and Ferrari. Hamilton signed a contract with Mercedes in 2013, after winning one championship with McLaren in 2008 and 6 more with the Silver Arrows. It goes without saying that he is a vital part of the team, and thanks to his dedication and hard work, the team is where it is right now. However, everything has a price tag on it, and Mercedes understands that if it hadn't been for Hamilton, they wouldn't have been where they are right now. Back in 2021, Hamilton signed a 2-year contract that brought him around $40 million per year, but that contract expires at the end of the 2023 season. That is why he has yet to renew his contract, and what he has asked Mercedes is out of this world. Now the ball is in the team's court, as a spokesperson spoke about the alleged numbers as well. The 2022 season has shown that Mercedes has struggled a lot for pace and performance, and Hamilton has been the guinea pig when it comes to the team experimenting with different setups, so that the performance would be optimized for the second half of the season. Still, Russell has shown that he can absolutely outperform Hamilton in the same machinery in his first year at Mercedes, and now the team has a lot to think about when it comes to the number 1 driver. Hamilton is currently the highest paid athlete in the world, as he's earned around $147 million from Mercedes and endorsements, along with commercials from the team as well. However, the contract that he's about to sign would increase this number to around $217.8 million in the course of 2 years. This is the same amount of money Hamilton would earn under his current contract if he won the championship in 2023, which is highly unlikely, as we discussed earlier in this video. But this is just one part of the contract. After 2 years, or at the end of the 2025 season, Hamilton could retire and sign on as an ambassador for Mercedes F1, which would entail presenting the team in various scenarios and promoting the business for them. Reportedly, Hamilton has asked for around $38.9 million per year over the course of 10 years, which would mean that from the ambassador role alone, Hamilton would bank in $389 million. To top off the 2 years in his new contract and the one that is currently on its way for the 2023 season, Hamilton would be worth around $680.9 million in the next 13 years. And now you're wondering why Hamilton always said he wanted to retire in a Mercedes, and this is the team he wants to finish everything in. If you were able to withdraw that amount of money from a certain team, then you are definitely going for it. Hamilton has earned every single penny of this contract, but the question is, will the team be willing to pay off that amount to him? One factor that goes into this narrative is that an official spokesperson from Mercedes said that this is just a rumor. Hamilton hasn't started the contract talks with Mercedes, and as of now, nothing is official. The official statement went as follows: "Obviously, the winter doesn't stop the rumor mill, and it's been entertaining to read speculation about contract discussion when they haven't yet begun. The rumors seem to have started on a French blog, Sportune, with which we don't have a relationship, and are pretty wild in terms of what they suggest. Toto stated on record last Friday that discussions haven't yet begun, and that's exactly the situation. Still, this doesn't necessarily mean that the numbers won't be in this ballpark, as we all know that Hamilton loves to extend things for as long as he can. One of the reasons why is that he knows his worth, and obviously he would want to extend things for as long as he can in order to receive what's his. But until this point, he was the alpha male at Mercedes. Now that the team has seen what Russell is capable of, it goes without saying that Hamilton has lost leverage, and there could be some other winds blowing in his direction. In Hamilton's alleged contract, there is a clause that obligates Mercedes to pay $7 million to his charity, Mission 44. Until now, Hamilton had been investing around $7 million per season in the charity, and with the new contract, Mission 44's revenue would be doubled. But this is something that would be gladly accepted by Mercedes, as we all know that Mission 44 takes care of the minorities and the groups that have it hard to express their voice in the world. Another huge reason why Mercedes would accept the alleged contract is the fact that Hamilton's contract will be sponsored by Ineos, or more precisely the founder of it, Jim Ratcliffe. Jim and Hamilton are business partners, as the chemical multinational company has a 33% stake in Mercedes F1 as well. These two are rumoured to be pursuing a buyout of Manchester United, a Premier League team, as Hamilton was also rumoured to be joining Jim in a buyout of the Denver Broncos, a team in the National Football League. The seven-time world champion elaborated on this, saying, "Jim's part boss but partner. I'd say we're more partners because we're in this together, and I hope in the future to do something with Jim and build with him. I do want to get more and more involved in teams because I really do believe in black ownership. There is a lack of it in sports and black equity." Apart from this, there is one huge reason why Hamilton could consider the contract with Mercedes, and that is not up to the team. As of 2023 onward, the FIA has implemented a rule that would force drivers to ask for permission from the president of the governing body before sending out a political or personal message. This would mean that environmental messages, support for minorities, and different kinds of messages would have to be filtered and approved by Ben Mohammed Sulayem prior to the particular driver sending the message through a t-shirt or helmet sticker. This is something that Toto Wolff has spoken about, as he said, "We haven't talked about the political situation because he's in his off-season, and I think it's important to shield yourself from F1. This is what I'm very much doing, helping to shield. Once he's back, these things will certainly be discussed with a positive mindset." Obviously, this is something that Hamilton would see as a huge problem, but even with that in mind, the Austrian is confident that the signing of the new contract will be a matter of hours once Hamilton comes back from his vacation in Antarctica. The only reason as to why the contract hasn't been signed yet, according to Wolff, was Hamilton's absence from Europe, and now that the Brit will be able to join Wolff in Europe, the team principal believes that everything will be done and dusted in a matter of hours. When talking about this matter, Wolff said, "As for contract discussions, we have a full year to go. We are so aligned. In the last 10 years, our relationship has grown. It's just a matter of him physically being back in Europe, sticking our heads together, wrestling a bit, and then leaving the room with white smoke after a few hours." Yes, there has been a shifting in Mercedes, and it's evident that Russell is here to stay and to beat Hamilton in the upcoming seasons. This is something that no matter how much Wolff or Mercedes hates, is good for the team, as the young driver has emerged as the better competitors in the previous season. Russell doesn't seem to stop anywhere soon, and Hamilton could very well be forced to accept something against his favour, which is a lower payday and lower paychecks to his bank account. While everything goes in his favour and he will go down as one of the greatest drivers to ever compete in the sport, 2023 will be a deciding year for Hamilton and Mercedes, and we cannot wait to see how the W14 will perform. With information coming from Ferrari reporting that the car has been 1 second faster in the simulator compared to 2022, and with Red Bull already nailing the technical regulations in 2022, it will be very difficult for Hamilton and Mercedes to compete in the first place. With that being said, what do you think about Hamilton's proposed contract? Do you think that Mercedes will sign it? Let us know in the comments below.